start work on our style guide HTML file. Our style guide is going to be a place where we're going to define the style of our website. You've probably designed a style guide that was a PDF for some other design project. And that was usually a static design document that sort of gives choices in terms of colors and things like that. We're going to take that 10 steps farther, and we're going to make an interactive style guide with a table of contents and examples for not only our color choices, but our design elements, our components, and all other aspects that can be broken down of our website into smaller parts, and we're going to put them into a document as a reference. This is going to be a requirement of your midterm and final project. So let's get started. Let's make a new folder in our student folder, and let's call that folder Style Guide. Right away, let's go into our README, and let's add that link into our links for our readme.md. So I need to add links for a number of things right now. I'm going to add a link into my AAU WNM 608. My username, and then I am going to make another link into my style guide. There we go. So I've now got a link directly to the index file of my student folder, and now I'm making a link into my style guide in my readme.md. So I'm going to just put a thing here that says relevant links. There we go. I'm going to save that. And now in my style guide, I'm going to make a new file, and that file is going to be an index.html. Inside of here, I'm going to make an HTML5 document, and I'm going to say CSS Style Guide. So I'm basically going to take my index, I'm going to copy this whole chunk out of the top of that document. There we go. And then I'm also going to take this header, and I'm going to copy that chunk out of that document. So we've now got a nav bar, and that thing is going to say that there is a style guide. And then I am going to say that there is a link to a table of contents. And another link, actually, no, just there. Link to the table of contents. Excellent. So if I go onto my style guide folder now, I should see my, doesn't look like that worked. Let's look at what's happening here. So I've linked to my CSS files, and they don't seem to be showing up. This should be a thing that you should be able to recognize right away, especially if you look at your console and see that there are errors. Oops, 404. 404 means a file was not found. And it's saying our grid system, our store theme, and it's saying our grid system, our store theme, and our style guide were not found. Where are they? Well, let's see if we can find them. See, the thing is that we're linking those relatively from our index in our main folder to their locations from that main folder. However, this new index file isn't in the main folder. It's in the style guide folder, and that's a problem. So we need to figure out a way of making sure that our style guide files, our CSS files, are still found in the style guide folder. Now, the easiest way to do that is to just come into each one of these and make sure that we're linking them in from the parent folder. So since we're in a subfolder right now, we need to go up to the parent folder and then down into a library, into CSS, into styleguide.css. If we save now and we refresh, there we go. We've got our design, we've got our CSS, we're good to go. We're back on track. Okay, so let's come back into here and let's make a table of contents. I'm going to make a container, and inside of that container, I'm going to make a card. And inside of that card, I'm going to make an H2 that says table of contents. And because I just made a link to a hashtag table of contents, I'm going to give this container an ID of table of contents. And that way that link will link to this part of the document. If I save and I refresh, I should be able to click this and link to there. So let's keep going. Let's say that if we have a card right here, then what we need to have is a UL. And inside of that UL, we'll make an LI, and inside that LI, we'll make an anchor. And for that anchor, we're going to make a link, and that link is going to link to a section that we are going to call typography. And then, beneath our table of contents, we're going to make a container with a card that is soft. And inside of that soft card, we are going to make an H2 that says typography. And then we are going to make a ID of typography. And now we are going to save, and we're going to refresh. And we now have a table of contents with a link to typography and a typography link. We've got a link that links us to our table of contents hashtag. We've got a link that links us to our typography hashtag. And if we had more content in here, those links would be working. Right now they don't, and that's kind of fine. It's just because there's no content in the page. So let's show our typography for this document. Let's go ahead and make a section right here that has a H1. And we're going to say that this is a heading 1. And then we're going to make a H2. And then an H3. And so on, and so forth. Now, if we save and we refresh, we can see what the typography of our page would be in terms of our headings. We can also then do a section here that says an H3, which is headings. We can do an H3 that is that says paragraphs, and we can say paragraph times 3 greater than lorem 30. There we go. So we've got typography, headings, paragraphs. Let's see if we can do something that makes it clear what our sections are inside of here. In fact, I don't think we should have a card around this entire section. I think we should have a card around each individual section. So let's move this H2 above this card. And then let's close off this card right here. And then do another one right here. There we go. Let's try that. All right. I like that better. In fact, I like that a lot better. So let's come back up here. Let's make a nav around this UL. And then let's make this card around that nav. Like that. Yay, I like that better. We got our table of contents, we got our typography, we got our headings, we got our paragraph, we got them all nice and separated out. And I think that's a better layout. So this is, I think, how this is how I am going to move forward with this document. However, I am merely setting this up as an example how you might lay out something using the tools that we've already built. If you want to expand on the tools that we've already built, this is what you should be doing. You should be taking what we've used as an example, like what does a card look like? And if you want to make a new card, something like that. And now, throughout this document, what we're going to do is we're going to start showing examples of what those look like. These are examples of what paragraphs look like. These are examples of what headings look like. And as we move forward, we'll do examples of what nav bars look like, navs look like, what cards look like, what our different card options look like, and what all kinds of components of our website look like. So this is our new style guide document. It is going to be a requirement of this class, and you're going to need to work on it throughout the semester to, whenever you come up with a new component idea, to give it an example and a place to live as an example for yourself or for any teammates that were coming on to this project.